Just in and shouldn't last long is this absolutely stunning 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, powered by its numbers matching 335 horse 383 4-barrel. Does come equipped with its non-original, but this was a factory 4-speed, and that's exactly what it has today. It does have a 4-speed transmission, but I don't think it's the original one. This car comes with tons of receipts on the restoration that was done over the last 20 years. Beautiful, beautiful car. Very nicely detailed engine compartment. Vintage air was added and it works perfectly. The air is ice cold in it. It's got the correct fan shroud, headers, numbers matching 383. It's a beautiful, beautiful factory F3 color code car. The restorer, when he chose to do it, did it in a just a real dark green, tons of metallic in it. It really looks nice. I just dropped the torsion bars a little bit to give it the kind of the ride height that I like, but and it's got air shocks in the back, so if somebody wants to adjust that kind of stuff, that's all very simple to give it the ride and the look that you want. Again, we have a huge binder with all the receipts and stuff on this, as far as parts and stuff on the restoration. It's riding on a brand new set of BFG raised white letter tires, new Magnum 500 rims. Bumpers were re-chromed as well, so the front and rear bumpers are in excellent condition. Undercarriage is super solid, all painted black. It does have subframe connectors, and like I said, just a really nice solid original undercarriage. The chrome around the headlights, the chrome on the grill, all that stuff is original. You can tell there's a bunch of little scratches on the grill, on the top of the grill and stuff like that. So that is the original, but very presentable. As we look out across the hood, paint on the hood is in excellent shape. I'm guessing this paint job's at least 10 years old. And like I said, they did a beautiful job burying the stripes. You cannot feel the tape line on the stripes. It's all been cleared over. Gaps are in great shape. As we come across here to the passenger side fender, we got a couple light little tiny little scratches in it that I'm sure will buff out. Absolutely no blisters in it. Nothing in the quarters, doors, rockers, or lower fender. Very solid, original RM21 Roadrunner. Door gaps in great shape from top to bottom. It does have its factory, they didn't replace the door handle, which they probably should have. It's got a lot of little pits and little dry spots in that chrome there. It is the two-door coupe. As we look out across the paint on the roof, there's no dings or hail dings or damage. Beautiful there. That rear sail area is excellent. It's got a great sound and dual exhaust coming from those headers. No smoke out the tailpipes, just a nice Roadrunner muscle car sound. New back bumper, all re-chromed. Look down the side, it's laser straight. Taillight lenses are excellent. The gap around the trunk lid all looks very nice. We do have a few pits here on the chrome. It's original chrome around the taillights. In general, the Argent looks really good and the chrome really looks good too, but it does have a few pits around them. The surface of the trunk lid is excellent. I mean, in my opinion, this car doesn't need any paint work, guys. I mean, just a beautiful car. You could take to any of your car shows and definitely place. I know the previous owners placed with some trophies with this car many times. Rubbers are new on the door. You don't find a door any nicer than this one, guys. Absolutely no rust, no putty, no filler. Just perfect seam there. I've got the receipts of the interior. The interior is done in 2003, which kind of explains why just over this center hump here where it's got a lot of sun, you can just see just a little bit of lightning color to that carpet. Carpet's still in excellent shape, but after 12 years it's just getting just a little discolored around the 4-speed shifter. Dash pad is perfect. It does have an aftermarket tack on the steering wheel. Usually I take out those tacks, usually take the tacks out, but with this being a 355 rear end posi and a 4-speed, I wanted to know where the RPMs were on it when I drove it. It does have the seat belts in the front. Upholstery seats were also redone in 03. They're in great shape, no rips, tears. Back seats in excellent shape. It's got seat belts back there for 3 people. As we look at our painted pieces on the interior, they're excellent. The back door panels, armrest, everything is in great shape. Door panels are all new up in the front as well. And as we look at the black painted part of this, it's just fantastic. Whoever restored this did a great job, and I'm guessing it was restored, probably the whole car, paint, interior, everything, approximately 12 to 15 years ago. Again, if you want a little different stance, torsion bars come up, air shocks can go up or down. Very easy to change. When it came in, the front end was sitting up quite high on it. As we look up and down the side of the driver's side, paint and body just as nice as the passenger. No blisters in the rear quarter whatsoever. Rocker panel, lower fender, everything's fantastic. If we look real close at the bottom of the lower fender, we do have a few little rock chips and stuff. As we look at the trunk compartment, it's all painted the same green. It's got the mat, spare, jack, everything's super nice in that trunk as well. New roof rail rubbers here, they're all new. New door rubbers. Beautiful doors. Previous owner lived on gravel, about 5 miles on gravel, and he every time he took this car out, he loaded it into his enclosed trailer to take it to town. So that's the kind of life it's had for the last number of years. Wasn't driven on gravel if it could be helped. Previous owner stated that he wouldn't be afraid to drive it to California, so mechanically this car is right up to snuff and ready to go. As we look at the headliner, the dome light works and the headliner is in fantastic shape. It's got the correct steering wheel, the correct Roadrunner horn. As we look at the inside corner of the door and stuff, that's all perfect as well. The jambs were done very professionally. Doors were painted off the car. Emergency brake works as well. Pioneer CD player works great. Got a nice sound system. Here's our vintage air. We turn that up, it kind of screwed with our idle a little bit. Just turn that air on, it's already blowing ice cold air out of the vents here. This car runs about 155, 160 down the road. and when idling. But when a guy runs that air conditioner, you're going to run this a little bit hotter. Carries 60 pounds oil pressure. Go ahead and shut that off. It's got a maximum performance Stuart Warner tach. As far as at our idle, the reason that killed when we turned the air on, it's only idling at about 500 or 600 RPM. To run that air, a guy wants to probably turn that idle up a little bit because it's going to drop your RPM when you turn that on. Gas gauge works, alternator gauge works. Like I said, temp gauge, oil pressure gauge. After it's all warmed up, you get about 37, 38 pounds of oil pressure at an idle. Sitting here about 6 minutes. Her shifter's in beautiful shape. Like I said, it's a factory 4-speed. It's got the factory hump here. Nice shifter boot, nice shifter. Does have a Holley manual choke, which is nice on a cold start. Lights all work on it. Wipers work. Like I said, this car is just fantastic. A lot of these muscle cars drive great, they don't look great, or look great and don't drive great. This one's got it all. As I mentioned before, it does have a 355 gears in the rear with a posi. No power steering, no power brakes. Power steering, as far as the steering goes, steers great. Tons of power. Speedometer seems to work well. As we look out across the hood, the hood gaps are great. Paint on the hood is beautiful. Got a nice full pedal of brakes. Brake stop nice and straight. This car shifts perfect. I mean, just nice and smooth. You can shift it with one finger. We're doing 60 mile an hour. I'd say it's running a little slow, probably doing about 65. Running about 2,800 RPM. As far as the steering goes, it does not need an alignment. It goes nice and straight down the road. Try your brakes again. It does not have disc brakes, but I'll tell you what, it's got a nice firm pedal.